Hi everyone, and I'm out here looking like a weirdo talking to a camera. But I wanted to talk about what it's like being an international student and getting that question, so why are you studying here? Because we all know it happens a lot. Probably every person I've met has asked me in some form of way, why here, why this school, why Australia? So if you're interested in my thoughts on the subject, then that's the video you've signed up to watch, so keep going. So there's a lot of different answers to the question, why are you here, why this school, why Australia? And of course, in retrospect, I have some really great answers about why I love Macquarie, why the program is the program I want to be in, and why certain steps of my educational path, from my Bachelor's of Science to a Master's of Public Health to this specific MD, have led me here. But if we want the sort of nugget of truth in why I'm in Australia, it's because I failed to get in Canada. And that's the truth. Of course, now I am so glad that I'm here, and can't picture myself in any other MD program. That's a bit of a lie. I could probably picture myself in any MD program so long as I was getting an MD. But I know that this is going to make me the doctor I want to be and give me the experiences I want, and the friends I've already made are friends for life. So that's great. But of course, if you ask me, third year university me, 3 years ago now, I would have been happy to be going into med school the next year. And, at that point then I'd now be 3 years into med school. Depending on the program, I could be done or 1 year away from being done and almost be on my road to residency. I don't regret the experiences I've had, and they've helped me choose my Australian school. But if I'd gotten in Canada, I wouldn't be in Australia. And so boiling it down like that, the truth is, why am I here? Why am I studying in Australia? It's because I failed. And I wanted to talk about that on YouTube specifically, not that I have a huge following or anything, but because I don't think we recognize enough how common failure is. Especially for those of us applying into competitive post-grad programs, so pre-meds, pre-laws, pre-dents, pre-farm, all of those things. There's a lot of us that fail, and we fail on the first, the second, the third try. Some of us eventually find other paths, other life choices, and that's great, and we are happy and satisfied. Plain. And some of us keep applying. Some of us don't have the privilege to be able to afford to keep applying, because I do want to address the fact that I feel quite lucky and quite privileged that I was able to work while in university, work the summer that I studied the MCAT to be able to afford the MCAT and the application process, and that I have family supporting me so that I can get a loan to study here. The application process reeks of privilege, but that's a conversation for another day. But yeah, more of us fail than not. I don't really have the stats. If I find them, I can put them up here. But I know the majority of med school applicants never get into med school. And I'm sure it's similar for law school, dentistry, pharmacy. And that sucks. And I know it sucks to feel that failure, so for any of you that are watching this video that have failed this year to get in, I did a video for Austrec talking about other paths and how I got my full journey into medicine and how Austrec stepped in and swooped out of nowhere and saved me, so you can watch that as well. But it really sucks to get that rejection and not know what you're going to do with your life now. And I don't think we talk about enough how all of these high-achieving students still fail. And we fail in the thing that we were achieving for. And there is no golden way to just get over it. It hurts, it sucks, you wallow in it for a little while, and that's okay. And eventually you maybe do something like I do, where you do a different grad program instead. So I did my Master's of Public Health. Or you work for a little while and you reapply. Or you go back and you do your undergrad courses and you reapply. Or you don't do any of those things. You go off, you travel, you find a new job, you become a social media influencer. I don't know, you could do anything. You don't need to go to medicine. So if you fail to get in and you decide you don't want to get in, you don't have to reapply. That's fine. But if you do, then chances are you will reapply. And there's all this talk, like there's hashtags and things on Instagram like failing forward and failing upward. And I think it's really important to be open and honest about our failures. So this is just me being open and honest and a little bit rambly about my failures. So I applied in Ontario to multiple schools and failed. Failed to get invited to interview even, both years. And it was very frustrating because you know, you look at your application and you think, it must have been this, it must have been this. Plain. The application cycle is a huge black box. You never really know why or why not. At least in Canada, you didn't get it. You might get some feedback depending on the school if you get to interview, but you may get none. And since I didn't get to interview, so while you can never know for sure, looking at my application, I do think it was just my scores. They weren't high enough. They were above the minimums, but they were not competitive. And that was, I applied in third year and in fourth year. And then I was contemplating about applying during my master's, but I emailed a couple of the schools that I was most interested in, and they basically said that the master's, while it would be sort of a bonus on my application, they wouldn't look at the master's GPA, so it didn't really matter. And I didn't want to pay to rewrite the MCAT if I didn't know I needed to. So applied to Australia before my MCAT expired. It was really good timing. But yeah, so it sucks. You can reevaluate your application, you can try to make it better, and maybe after reevaluating and improving, you get in, and that's awesome. And maybe you don't, and that's still okay. Doesn't feel it at all, but it will be okay. Do I have any more thoughts on the subject? I don't know how I'm going to cut this all together. Sorry, editing Emma. Yeah, I guess it's just important to me to be honest about that. It's something, the failure to not get into medicine was something that I really struggled with. It was definitely something that I felt a lot of shame associated with, and didn't want to talk about at all. Just brushed it off. People knew I was applying. The second time I was applying, I didn't really tell as many people because obviously you're embarrassed the first time you don't get in, so then you don't want to talk to more people about it the second time. And I think it's really important, whether it's medicine, whether it's a post-grad program, if it's university, if it's anything, getting a job, anything like that, I think it's important that no matter what the failure is, once we've come to terms with it, however long that takes, we share it with the people around us, with the people that will listen or watch videos. Because me saying that I failed to however few people watch this will let those few people know that if they failed, that's okay. It also, I can be maybe a little bit of hope that I failed to get in Canada, and here I am in Australia still living the dream, studying medicine now. And again, check out the video in the cards to see how and why. I guess the point of this video is just a bit of a confession, a bit of an open honesty that while I feel in my bones I am in the right place, I'm in the place that I should be, and that the experiences I had because I didn't get into medicine are the experiences that I needed to have. I am here studying medicine in Australia because I failed. So if you want to have a conversation, comment below. if you want to share, what's a recent failure you've experienced? If you like these sort of rambly, chatty videos about things on my mind, give this video a like, and make sure you subscribe. I do also have Instagram and Twitter, where I'm active pretty much daily. You know the drill. It's YouTube if you've watched it before. But yeah, I'm Emma, and I've failed. I'll see you in the next one. Sorry for the rambly video. Is it gonna piece together well? We'll see.